right, here we are again with Bob Weiss from Shaker's Pub in Milwaukee, the Speakeasy, the Haunted Bar, so many great things that are going on there. Always good to chat with you and whatnot. And well, we're flowing into probably our favorite time of the year, and that would be the October season. Some people, Halloween's one night. For us, of course, it lasts 6 weeks.
Indeed, it does.
Do you get any extra because of the Krampus Fest stuff that goes on?
I'm glad to see that Milwaukee is engaging these things now, because there's so much more taking place than just, as you said, that 1 or 2 or 3 night gig, and it really has become far more expansive. I just hope that we can pull it off this year.
Yeah, well, we'll pull something off one way or another, I suppose, as far as celebrating the holiday. We'll have to see what happens. Again, we've talked about that before. It was interesting because I made a new Facebook page because I wanted to ruin the old one. I had to bring it back though because I had all a history of pictures on there. See how they got you, right? I'm not a fan though, but I immediately decided, well, I'm just gonna add all cool goth chicks. Why not, right? That's the doctor's way, He's infatuated, and that keeps the blood flowing. I might be old, but I'm not dead. And anyway, so I added all these different gals on there, and one of them said about the Halloween, being canceled. And I said, well, what does that even mean? And she said about, she's in L.A. So if you're in L.A., you don't even know what Halloween is already. You got to be up here in Wisconsin. I explained that to her and thought maybe she'd get mad at me, but no, she says, that sounds awesome. And it really is, especially for someone like myself who spends so much time outdoors in the farm at the Jerry Smith
Lovely tan, by the way. I can see that.
Huh?
Your lovely tan.
Is it showing?
It is, yes.
But, yeah, Jerry Smith's Pumpkin Farm. That's been a tradition in Kenosha for a long time. That's been a great experience to be part of every year. And it'll get to the point, I'm outside so much that some of my friends came in town from Florida. And I think it was on Halloween, but it was raining, so we were closed. And they were fine to hold up in their little hotel room. And I'm like, I got to get out of this room. I cannot sit. I can't be inside. The doctor's got to be outside. So that's a whole part. Every sunset, every night, 7 days a week. It's a glorious thing.
I have to tell you, I like the evolution of what's taken place at Halloween as an adult festival, because we've gone from just a ghoul fest into an enhanced ghoul fest, the horror aspect, and now so many women just dress up as slut fest. I kind of dig that too. I got to be honest about that. So there's something for everybody.
They all have their time to free their inhibitions.
Why not?
Halloween is that thing. They all want to do that, and I don't have a problem with whatever you want to do. The guy that comes to the bar with the toilet seat around his head, not so much, or the football players sort of thing. But whatever, have fun with it, I guess. But it's an interesting holiday, and it's interesting that you mentioned though that it's become an adult holiday as much as the kid holiday. But during the history of Halloween, it was an adult thing, right, with play parties and everything. And then through the wars and whatnot, they kind of slowed it down a little bit, and then they brought it back for the kids. And when things started getting good after the Second World War was over, and what is it? Okna, Minnesota. Mm. It's the Halloween capital of the world.
Yes, indeed.
And they were one of the first ones to design this Halloween parade where they announce a winner for the prize at home on the radio to get all the kids off the streets for the pranks.
Lovely.
What was that the humorist up in Minnesota? You know what I'm talking about?
A bit before my time, but I don't.
Oh, he's still around.
Really?
Yeah. I can't think of his name. There's a documentary that I've seen that he's in. It's so funny because, let's see if I can remember how he puts this because it's brilliant. He said, if you ever had to get wet toilet paper out of a tall oak tree, you will believe in capital punishment. And that used to be the thing when I was a kid. We had a big tree out in the front yard.
Yeah.
And you knew you were going to get hit. For some reason, that tree was a target. And there's just nothing like, you look out and you got hit. And you see all that toilet paper blowing through the trees like a ghost.
Wafting. It was gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah.
There's not enough good toilet papering going on. But I suppose with the current crisis.
Well, who can afford toilet paper if you can find it today?
Yeah, that's it's still unbalanced, isn't it?
Indeed.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest things that ever happened is made us look like idiots. But terrible condition. See, I always said, no, I can't say that. Anyway, but Halloween, just a great tradition all the way around. Of course, being in Wisconsin helps a lot. I'm sure your place has a great spooky atmosphere for Halloween. I've always loved Milwaukee.
Doctor, we have taken that marvelous portion of Wisconsin, rather, and really enhanced it at Shakers, because for the last 7 or 8 years, we have brought in freshly fallen leaves, and we've strewn them everywhere. So we replenish them throughout the course of the season over 6 weeks or however long we can capture them.
That's awesome.
You got this crunch, you got the smell, you got everything, and it takes you back, man. It's just gorgeous.
We did stuff like that at shows. We had there was a girl from Kenosha, Jennifer, who ended up being the singer for when we recorded the Die Monster Die tracks. She just had this awesome Halloween vibe about her. It's really hard to describe, but we started working on music together, and then we started doing gigs where we brought in trees and all different stuff, nature.
Yeah.
And we were out on, you might have passed it on the way here, actually. I think, which one was it? 12th Street or Highway Lichter Road E, Highway E maybe. And we'd always go out in the county and go walk around all the woods and everything. We came across this weird stuff that looked like straw, it didn't look like straw, but it was that kind of a color.
Yeah. And
we're like, oh, we need this for the stage. And we were coming back to the car. The sheriff pulls over, wondering what we had there, And then, of course, nothing happened, but that was just funny times.
You mean this dried grass over here?
The dried grass that you saw outside the castle, yes.
Yeah. The sheriff in the back of the car. Got it, okay.
The sheriff. I never had the sheriff in here. We got to get the sheriff.
Why not?
I know, I've known him for years. Yeah, we've had same sheriff for a long time, Dave Beff. So, interesting stuff. Same mayor, too. He's put in a lot of time, our mayor. And your mayor has been around for a little too long, too.
He has been around for too long. That's polite.
Well, I mean, he's getting a little bit old, isn't he?
Tommy's a very nice man, but in my mind, he's a little ill-equipped to run a major city, yes.
And a lot of these guys are maybe too old. Is there a cutoff point issue?
There certainly ought to be.
There ain't a cutoff.
Term limits would be such a beautiful thing, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm. Well, there needs to be some changes, that's for sure.
Yep.
But people ain't focusing on those changes. They're focusing on putting a Band-Aid on a gruesome laceration.
Wow, that's a good analogy. Thank you.
But yeah, Halloween's a great season. I'm sure at Shakers with all the ghost activity and everything you have going on there. It's certainly. I only got to see one floor when I was there.
Hangman Tours. We have to get you in for these things. They are extraordinary. Both our branch in Milwaukee and now in Savannah as well. Mm-hmm. So plenty of cemeteries, plenty of gore, plenty of stories in Savannah. Milwaukee, of course, we center on Shakers, of course. There's just so much that's there. So many different entities on different floors. And so many documentaries have been done on us, whether it's A&E, Discovery, whomever, the Netflix piece. Mm-hmm. And they just keep coming back for more. And the reason they come back is because we've got real ghosts and real stuff.
Did you ever get a chance to see a show that used to be on in the 90s called Wild Chicago?
No.
No, that was pretty cool.
No?
I missed that. We were on there for the haunted bus.
Can I find that somewhere?
I don't know. There's some tape somewhere of mine that's somewhere, but you can imagine the amount of videotapes and DVDs are in my in the crypt down there.
Man, I would have thought Wild Chicago would have been around the disco scene or the Playboy Club or something.
They did all kinds of wild stuff down there in Chicago.
Really?
Yes, it was all. It had to be stuff that was out there. They came here for Mike Bjorn's clothing store. And Mike called us up. He goes, well, if you park your bus out in front, maybe they'll do a little thing on you. And they did, which was really cool. Probably more people saw us there than they saw us at any other time. Who knows? It's hard to say. But that was a really great part of it. And having the haunted bus for roaming the countryside through the Wisconsin cornfields, there's nothing like that when that gang comes rolling down the road. So I had my time of doing the traveling sideshow kind of vibe, which I loved it.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll come back. I don't know. I got to do it differently, though.
People need entertainment. Our culture is predicated upon the arts and what we do with them and how we interact with ourselves, and we can't do any of that. So we are so deprived right now.
Well, we've got the local markets are one of the things that got to open, but they're pushing the essential thing. So this guy that sells stained glass, he can't be there. Really, isn't it essential that people make money? I don't even know what to say. I'm beside myself. But we should probably go back more to the Halloween subject. And I don't know if you've really known or had a chance. I'm sure we're all familiar with those cardboard cutout skeletons and pumpkin things that we grew up with. But those go way back. And if you do a search on Halloween die cuts, say circa 1900,
Okay.
what's really, really cool about it is it's all witches and black cats and pumpkins and scarecrows. There's no monsters. Because there wasn't no monster movies yet. The monster part really isn't in the imagery. It's cool sunsets. It's all these different things. So then the monster culture came along, and someone will see me dressed up. I'm getting ready to do a horror show or something. They're like, "Oh, it's not Halloween yet." I don't know why people feel the need to say something to somebody they don't know, but whatever. My explanation of that is, you go back, you look at Halloween imagery from 1900. Halloween is a completely different thing than the horror movie genre. The two things complement each other, but they're not the same thing.
Agreed.
And that's the end of that story. Mm-hmm. But yeah, check out some of those images. Again, Ghoulies, that's Halloween die cuts, pre-1900. And they had some fantastic artwork and ideas for some of those things. They used to have those paper mache pumpkins for the candy holders. Those are worth $1 now.
Fortune
Yep.
right now. Yep.
And I guess what I explained to me, and I've seen it, and I would love to have one so bad. It's been described as the holy grail of Halloween collectibles. And what it is, it's like you have your plastic pumpkin. Mm-hmm. This is a head. It's a plastic Glenn Strange Frankenstein head. I think they might have used the mold also for a Frankenstein radio. But the Halloween candy holder Glenn Strange plastic is like worth a lot. That's like the most sought after thing. Wow. These things are, you got to remember, this is the clutter that would, and the kids would leave it in a clutter. The parents came along and threw it away while they're in school. At some point, it might actually be able for pay off for somebody to start digging into landfills and looking for all this old stuff.
Oh my.
Yeah, there it might be. So interesting stuff. Even these little ghost puppets. We're playing the Roosevelt Theater in 1984 with my band, Die Monster Die. On Halloween, we opened up for the Karate Kid. We're roaming through the theater, and someone comes across a box of all these little ghosts, glow-in-the-dark ghost finger puppets. And I think they were throwing them out to the crowd at one point. And I had a few of them still. But turns out those babies are worth $350 a piece if you got one. And they're just a little cheesy finger puppet that...
Oh, my.
Mm-hmm. So any final Halloween wishes for 2020? I think we know what that is.
Doctor, I can't wait for this year to be over. As much as I love Halloween and every other holiday there is, and everything that we typically do, I can't wait for this year to be done and the scare to move on.
Yeah, let's hope so. Anyway, have a happy Halloween. We'll know more updates later on, I'm sure. Thanks for coming on, Bob.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, Doctor.
All right. I've got...